kids, I'm Margaret Thatcher. I was Britain's first woman and longest serving Prime Minister. I was also known as the Iron Lady. In British politics, I was the only Prime Minister in the 20th century to win 3 consecutive terms. Well, come and get to know more about my life story. I was born on October 13, 1925 in a small town called Grantham in Lincolnshire, England. My parents, Alfred and Beatrice, were grocers. My dad was also a local politician who later went on to become the mayor of Grantham. So accompanying him during meetings and speeches inspired and influenced me to be a politician from an early age. I was educated at the local grammar school called Grantham's Girls' High School and excelled really well as a student. I was then accepted to Oxford University, where I studied chemistry at Somerville College. One of my instructors was Dorothy Hodgkin, a Nobel Prize-winning scientist. I finally graduated with a degree in chemistry and later worked as a research chemist. I was also politically active during this time and served as president of the Conservative Association at the university. After graduation, I made my first bid for public office and ran as a Conservative candidate for a parliamentary seat in the 1950 elections. I knew it would be impossible to win. Defeated, I didn't give up hope and tried again the following year. My efforts were unsuccessful once again. However, my political speeches earned me respect from my political peers. Soon after the loss, I met Dennis Thatcher, a successful businessman and a World War II veteran, and I married him in 1951. I also welcomed my twin son and daughter in 1953. While raising my children in my spare time, I took up law and specialized in patent and tax law that year. I continued to pursue my dreams and contested again in the 1959 elections. I won a Conservative seat in the House of Commons. I served in a variety of political posts after that. I served as Parliament Secretary in Ministry of Pensions and National Insurance from 1961 to 1964. I was also the Chief Opposition Spokeswoman on Education from 1969 to 1970. I was also appointed as the Secretary of State for Education and Science from 1970 to 1974. It was at this time, to reduce government spending, I eliminated the free milk program for school children. This provoked a controversy, and people taunted me with the phrase, "Thatcher the milk snatcher." I also oversaw the expansion of comprehensive schools, which are secondary schools that welcome all students rather than based on academics or wealth. I slowly emerged as a political leader and was elected leader of Conservative Party in 1975, making me the first woman to lead a major political party in Britain. It was the beginning that changed the face of Britain during the time of major political and economic crisis. Being the first woman leader, all my actions grabbed media attention, and it was difficult to get my ideas across to the Prime Minister. I even quoted in a television appearance that I don't think there will be a woman Prime Minister in my lifetime. However, to my surprise, I was elected as Prime Minister in 1979. As a Prime Minister, in one of the speech at a conference, I attacked Soviet Union as bent on world dominance, and a Soviet Army newspaper nicknamed me as the Iron Lady. As Prime Minister, I introduced many policies and made many changes. This caused heavy political opposition, asking to U-turn the policy. So in 1980 at the Conservative Conference, I made a speech stating, "U-turn if you want. The ladies not for turning." During my first term in office, I battled the country's recession by raising interest rates and privatizing social housing and public transport. I also encountered my first military challenge in 1982 when Argentina invaded Falkland Islands. I quickly took action and sent British troops to take back the island and end the fighting. During my second term, I privatized many state-owned companies such as British Gas, British Telecom, British Airways, and more. As far as the foreign policies are concerned, in Asia, I negotiated the eventual transfer of Hong Kong to the Chinese. In Africa, I facilitated the end of white minority rule in Zimbabwe. I also often found myself allied with US President Ronald Reagan, who shared similar political views. Along with American President Ronald Reagan and Soviet Union's leader Mikhail Gorbachev, I played a significant role in helping end the Cold War. During this term, I came across many conflicts and crises. There was also an assassination attempt against me in 1984. During my third term, I implemented the fixed-rate local tax, labeled as poll tax by many. This unpopular policy caused many public protests and power struggles within my party. I was urged by my party members to step down. Hence, I resigned on November 28, 1990. After leaving office, I wrote about my experiences as a world leader and a pioneering woman in the field of politics in 2 of my books, The Downing Street Years in 1993 and The Path of Power in 1995. In 2002, I also published another book called Statecraft, which had my views on international politics. In my later years, I suffered a series of small strokes. I also suffered a personal loss of my husband's death in 2003. The following year, my old friend and ally, Ronald Reagan, also passed. Public appearances reduced drastically after this. However, in 2005, a huge event was held in my honor to celebrate my 80th birthday. It was attended by Queen Elizabeth II, Tony Blair, and around 600 members. In 2007, a bronze sculpture of me was unveiled in the members' lobby of the Houses of Parliament. In my final years, I encountered memory issues due to the strokes and passed away at the age of 87 on April 8, 2013. People say the era of Thatcher was an era of change. My legacy was how I transformed Britain during the most important time. People still debate if it was for the better or for the worse. I remember during my time in office, I had a conversation with the Queen where she said I was making enemies. I quoted the No Enemies poem by Charles Mackay, which argues that brave people must make foes if they are to change the world. One of the lines runs, "If you have none, small is the work you have done." It also concludes, "If you've never turned the wrong to right, you've been a coward in the fight." And that comes to the end of my life story. So kids, remember, be passionate about the career you choose. Never fear to make tough decisions under any pressure. Accomplishing your goal is more important than pleasing others. And try to be a person with integrity and reliability. And a phrase that inspired me is, don't be afraid to be different and independent. Independent people rule in the world. Never follow the crowd. Let the crowd come after you. Well, I hope you got to know more about me today and enjoyed the video. If you like our videos, please like, share, and subscribe to Kids Light Up. Bye bye!